All right. Let me explain to what my day has been like. I popped out of bed super early. I haven't been this excited in a long time. I have just a few days ago, my first book, Boondock Saints Volume 1, Blood Origin, dropped on Audible and Amazon. And today, we're seeing the first fan reactions. We chose some fans randomly from some of our sites to give advanced copies of the audiobook to, and they are going to weigh in today. I cannot wait to meet them. First, let's meet my favorite drinking mate, Lord Nick Hall. How are you?
How are you, fella? And how is everybody else? I hope it'll be nice to see the people coming in a minute now. I've been getting excited about this, Troy.
I've been excited for a while on this one, brother. Oh man, thank you for putting. Yeah, I'm great, dude. I've been wanting the time to move faster. You know, I'm walking around all day going, "Come on, open." So, thank you so much for all your help with the Boondock Saints Legion fan page for putting this together.
Anything for you. No bother at all. You know, I think I speak on behalf of the whole Legion. Not a bother. Anything to help me. Anything to help at all. You know, and just, I mean, that your generosity lately, things like the competitions and rosaries, you know, anything for you.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, couldn't have done it without you. You were actually the first living human being to hear the entire audiobook. It was funny, too, because I remember you were like, listen, I don't really listen to audiobooks, and I have a mental deficiency that makes me not be. I was like, shit, I picked the right guy for this. But you at least heard it, gave me 18 hours of your life, just like the fans here. Let's meet them one at a time. So, hey, Nick, where are you coming to us from?
I'm coming to you from Killarney. Troy, it took me 2 weeks to give you that 18 hours. Do you know what I mean? to even start thinking about giving you that 18 hours before I even bothered listening because of the fear of an audiobook.
All right. Well, Nick is coming to us from the Emerald Isle.
I am Killarney.
Let's meet a brand new friend of mine, Retro Ray, next.
What's Retro
on, Ray,
it's an honor to be here, man. How are you doing, guys?
Blessings from Killarney,
in Boston.
Nice.
Yeah, I noticed that right away.
I should have brought my
Ray,
one that Rocco gave me.
Ray, where are you coming to us from?
San Antonio, Texas, and this hat is not welcome here. So, but
no kidding.
Yeah, I bought this when I went to Boston to see the Patriots play, and took the sights of Boston in, and I had to buy a hat.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where that hat's not welcome; it goes anyway.
Yep,
I can attest to that one. All right, Ray. Ray has a super pro podcast. It was really funny when I met Ray. Nick, him and his brothers were all huge fans. His brothers texted in questions and shit while we were on the air. All right, let's meet our next one. Here is, we had a couple of substitutions today. Our guy Scotty. Hang on for 1 second.
Nice to meet you, Ray.
Nice to meet you too, sir.
Our boy Scotty Pipez is been replaced here today. Unfortunately, Scotty had to work, and I have some choice words for his boss who wouldn't give him the day off to do this.
Absolutely.
Starts with an F, and there's two of them. Huh?
Yeah, Scotty's a bit gutted, you know.
So let's meet our fill-in, my good old buddy Devin Pike. Dev, how are you?
Doing fine, Dev. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
The great thing about this is, Ray, I'm not going to come down I-35 to swipe that hat off your head. The Red Sox beat the Yankees in the playoffs this year, and everything else is forgiven after that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself. Hey, listen. All right, so Dev, we had a replacement here today. Preston Nerdy Ronan is in the hospital with sepsis, and you have beaten cancer twice, and
4 times. 4.
Wow.
4? Jesus, how did I miss the 2 in between?
I have a punch card. I'm gonna fill the damn thing out. All right, that's how this works.
Hey, have you ever had sepsis?
I have never had sepsis. I did have an infection in my jaw after a car wreck that made it balloon up like Evander Holyfield had beaten me within an inch of my life, but never sepsis. So that's something on the flow chart I haven't hit yet.
All right. Well, we'll all pray for Preston. He's asked us. I gave each of the fans a question that I wanted to know the answer to. So he has told us to stay away from his question because he's going to do a bunch of stuff on it. Now let's meet the fans. Here is, by the way, where are you coming to us from, Dev?
I'm just west of Dallas, Texas.
All right.
Like I said, 35.
Let's meet Bailey.
Hi.
Hey, Bailey.
I'm so excited to be here. Oh, I'm so excited.
Very cool. Very
Bailey,
cool.
where are you coming to us from?
I'm right outside St. Paul, Minnesota.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I went there once, St. Paul, Minnesota. I stayed in a church that was made into a hotel.
Okay. Very cool.
It was awesome, but like it was spooky as shit.
Oh, I bet.
It's like totally spooky. All right, let's meet our next one. Sean Patrick Dahlberg. Sean Patrick, hey? Hey,
What's up,
Sean,
everybody?
how are you?
Good. How you
we
doing?
Sean?
Hey, nice to meet you guys.
And you.
That name sounds slightly familiar. I don't know why.
Hey, Sean, where are you coming to us from?
New York.
New York.
Yeah, over here now.
I was just there. I was staying right across the border in New Jersey, and it was funny because I would wake up in the morning at the hotel, and all these New Yorkers and New Jerseyans, like, they walk by and they're like, "Hey, good morning. You have a nice day," like strangers, right?
Yeah.
Which I'm not living in LA for 30 years, and kind of the New England, they don't really do that. And I realized that that's not only are they the nicest people in the world, that's also why you can get your ass kicked in New York and New Jersey so fast. Because, like, if you start giving it to a guy that he's like, "Hey, I'm a good guy. I say good morning to people. Come over here, you little shit." So just got back from New York. I did Fox Across America with Jimmy Fallon. My buddy Aaron Berg was on a couple of great podcasts out there, and there ain't nothing like New York in the summertime. All right, let us meet Martha Worley. Martha.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Martha.
Nick.
Hello,
hi, Troy. I know this is your podcast, but Nick.
Look, Nick is more cherished than me and my own goddamn fan base. We're gonna talk about this later, Lord Hall.
Yeah, we will.
So happy that
You should be screaming Reggie. All right. All right, let's get so Martha.
Yes.
All right. Oh, you need a moment, darling.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
You good? You're over it? Oh
Yeah, I'm
man.
over it.
All right, Martha. Where are you coming to us from, dear?
A little town called Beatty, Nevada, and it's about 145 miles north of Las Vegas.
Oh wow. Are you up there near are you around Winnemucca?
Not quite that far north. I'm just south of Goldfield.
Me and a bunch of motorcycle thugs took a ride out from there. We started in like Atlanta, I think we went Reno. We went down through Winnemucca all the way across the top of Nevada. It was beautiful, beautiful country.
Oh yeah, it is.
All right. Are you in a church or something? What's that behind you?
No, that's my cabinet. I kind of put paper in there because it's kind of a mess.
Looks beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
All right, everybody. Everybody at once. What'd you think of the damn audiobook?
Oh, it's amazing.
Awesome.
Okay.
I'd tell you if it sucked.
I'll tell you something. I want to thank you guys for giving me 18 hours of your life. I can't imagine what it's like listening to my voice for that long, but thank you for all getting through it. And let's kind of go one at a time. I'd love to know kind of what your experience was. Because one of the funny things about this is dropping that much Boondock on a bunch of hungry fans that have only had 2 movies over the last quarter century and are waiting on a third was something I didn't even think about till a few days ago, right? I was like, wow, they're not really expecting this. And I didn't really talk much about it. So let's go one at a time. What was your experience, Mr. Hole?
Right. Well, one thing I wanted to say first off with that is classic Boondock Saints. Classic Boondock Saints. It wasn't long. It took, like I said, it took me 2 weeks to get into getting myself to listen to it in the first place, because I do not do audiobooks. So 2 hours into it, that was it. I was gone into a different world. But as I was having to listen to it in small bits, an hour, hour and a half at a time, to trying to connect each piece each time. By the time I was getting into it, I'd had to turn it off. I was on a tractor at work. I was you name it. I was all over the place doing all sorts of different things, trying to catch what little bits I could. And all I can say is, the more I got into, after that first couple of hours of getting into an audiobook period, I was gone, and I found myself couldn't wait to get a bit of time to have another bit of time with it. I mean, there was a couple of times I only got about 10 minutes, but it was. I gotta say, I probably will never read an audio or listen to an audio book again until volume 2. All right, that's as good as you're going to get from me. That's the biggest compliment I can give. I've got to listen to it again because there was so much missed the first time. 18 hours, a long time to be listening away, isn't it? Lots. Even to someone who knows most of the characters, the new spins you put on things. Oh dear, I'm afraid to say things because I don't want to spoil it for people who don't know some of those different spins yet. Totally different stories, but of the stories we already know. What are you doing? It's a bit of a head fuck there. You know what I mean? Seriously, I can't say anything because I don't want to spoil it for people.
All right, thank you, Nick. Retro Ray, undo your microphone, brother. Oh, there you are. What was your experience, brother?
Audiobook wise, my wife is a big audiobook person, and she had been telling me to do audiobooks, but this was my first actual audiobook that I got to listen to. Was, like I said, when I start reading the book, I got hooked. Listening to your voice, talking about it, reading the scriptures for every chapter. It was just so awesome. It made me not want to put it down, and it was listening to it driving to work. And since I work on medical equipment, so as I'm working at my desk, I'm listening to it. But yeah, no, when it ended, I was like, are you serious? Now I gotta wait for the next one now. So I'm like, wow. But no, the detail you put into the way you did the voiceovers, it was awesome. But yeah, no, for someone who is not an audiobook person, I recommend doing some audiobooks.
All right. Well, thank you, brother. Although I can't believe that 18 hours and you were like, what? It abruptly ended. It's 18 fucking hours. All right. Sean Patrick Dahlberg, what was your experience, man?
So I loved it. And I just to piggyback off of what Ray said, like I loved how you acted out each character. And it, like, if all of this fails, you should go and read for calm. You could do total like bedtime stories, like Boondock Saints bedtime stories, and you will make a killing. Either that or like OnlyFans just for your voice. Just put your mouth on there. Like that's what you got to do. Okay.
Love it.
But no, my first thought, because with the movies you have this visual medium that's sort of showing you what you pick to put in there, from wide shots to close-ups to medium shots to whatever. With this, it's almost like you're painting it and we're watching you paint this picture, but we're like sort of directing it ourselves in our heads. Like I kept thinking of like Ma Bell was Ma Kelly from Johnny Dangerously. I kept thinking of Maureen Stapleton, kept popping in my head. I was like, holy shit, like that's just the way that you spoke for her. I was like, that's Ma Kelly, But I loved it. And I just 100%, like if you ever decide to make this into like a limited or extended series, like I want to help you do that.
All right.
Like I feel like it was so good.
Well, yeah, I intended this is going to be a book series. That's why I called it Volume 1. I could probably do these for the rest of my life because of all you motherfuckers.
So it's not going to be like Leonard Part 6, where we don't have parts 1 through 5 and anything after that.
No. All right, Bailey. Bailey, my dear, what was your experience like listening to me for all that time?
Yeah, actually, so kind of like the rest of these guys, I'm not an audiobook person. So I actually read the Kindle version first.
Oh, wow.
Spent like 2 days straight reading it, and then listened to the audiobook. And that I love that because, I kind of already had a picture of what was happening, and then just hearing all of your descriptions and your voices just added to it. And I was able to catch so much more on like, going from reading it to listening to it.
Oh,
I kind of
wow.
already knew the plot twist, but was able to kind of like piece together more as I listened. So that was like a really fun experience for me.
Wow. I mean, I didn't think we'd catch somebody that had read
Done it.
the electronic
Oh,
book
yeah.
and listen to the audio.
Well
Which one would you recommend to, say, the Boondock fan?
Oh man, I mean, I think it really depends. Like if you're an audiobook person or you kind of like listening to things or need that description of someone talking to you, definitely the audiobook. And like if you have the time and everything too, like it's a big book.
Yeah.
But for me, like personally, like I love just kind of seeing like that movie in my head as I
Mm.
read. So for me, like
Absolutely.
I definitely liked the ebook version better.
Oh, wow. Okay. Dev, go ahead, brother.
Not having heard Martha yet, am I the only person who regularly listens to audiobooks
Yeah,
out
I'm
of this
thinking
whole
you are.
bunch? It's
It's you and me.
amazing. So generally, there are three different types of audiobooks. There is the audiobook where an outside narrator, somebody who's established, like R.C. Bray comes to mind. He does a lot of sci-fi series that I listen to. And they're not connected to the author as much. You've got the full cast recordings, which are essentially an audio drama for for a screenplay that hasn't been produced, or just something that's very visual and needs a full cast with sound effects and all the rest of it. And the one that I always find are the best are the ones where the author is reading it, because not only do you get the nuance from what the text is, you can hear it in their inflection in their voices that this is where the emphasis needs to hit. This is where you actually need to pay attention, because there's a little more gravity to it. And that was that was the thing that struck me so much, is that this being your first audiobook. Am I wrong on that or no?
Oh, no, you're right about that. Yeah.
Well, and by the way, hearing that your dad was the one who did the edit for it just made it that much more special, because you could tell that it was a very personal project. It was very it was fully fleshed out. No one would have ever known that it's your first if you hadn't have told them. And I just dug the ever living hell out of it. It was just right back into that Boondock era that that we've been craving for a number of years.
Well, thank you, man. I got to be honest with you. I was the same. I was like, the books read by the actual authors are the audio books that I love listening to. And one of them was like, like if some guy sails around the world and nearly drowns 5 times, I want to hear that guy. That's so I came to the conclusion that, yeah, I should probably do it, but you'd be surprised how you turn into a 3-year-old that's been asked to, read his homework to the class. I was like, I got a microphone in a booth, been there before, and for some reason, I'm like, what? I can't read? I can't freaking read? Okay.
And there's this one word that you just can't. This word just looks wrong. I can't say this word. It's wrong. I wrote it and it's still wrong.
It took me a while to kind of get the vibe, but I eventually got around to it. So, okay, Martha, what was your experience, dear?
I honestly think that if it were anybody else reading the book, I would not have been as interested in it. And the fact that you were reading it made me feel like you're more part of the story. And I really like the expansion of the characters. I think that was my favorite part, was getting to know each character a little bit more. I personally, and I'm just going to throw this out there, I would really, and I know maybe you already have this in your thought process already, is an expansion of Ma Bell and Da, like their story from like when they were young before they met in more detail, and maybe like Grandpa, Da's dad. How far does this go in the McManus history? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we touched on all that. We touched on Ma Bell's past, and in Da's, Noah's, and Grandpa. We kind of delved into those characters. That's one of the things I want to do. It's funny you should mention that, but one of the things I wanted to do was go deep down into these characters, especially the brothers, right? So the idea that the idea that we can know more about them in a book. I mean, it's almost why everybody says, a book's always better than the movie, right? And it's because you can really get down in there to show what people are thinking. You can go right flashback to some significant moment in their childhood or young adulthood. So we've started to touch on that. I'm glad you liked that, Martha. I meant to do that. That was not an accident. But the whole thing was to make it a much more personal experience for the listener, right? To really, is one of the problems I had from the very beginning was, two brothers don't just, come from foreign lands, live as illegal immigrants in the United States and start killing people. That just doesn't happen. So we needed to show kind of the footsteps of how they're drawn in to this kind of really dark world of vigilantism and how that happened. So I've got some questions that I've been dying to ask you guys, and I know you've had some time to think about them. Ray, Retro, here we go. For Retro Ray, though readers do not have to know Boondock Saints to follow the story of Blood Origin, it was essentially written as a love letter to the fans. So I put a secret code in it for them. Things only a fan would pick up on. There were moments, lines, story elements from the films woven into the tapestry of this new story, but each was rethought, re-engineered, and presented in a different way, and usually with a different outcome. It's my take on a Da Vinci Code, one that I peppered in throughout the story. What are your thoughts on this?
I loved it. I mean, there's a scene that I didn't know the reasoning behind when they do the execution thing, left and right gun.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know the explanation behind that. But in here, you tell us one's left-handed, one's right-handed. And there's that one scene that literally popped in my head when they're taking down the one guy. Without spoilers, it's just the scene. I'm not giving you the full thing.
Mm-hmm.
When one's hitting with the left, one's hitting with the right, and then just both of them just attacking them. That, for me, kind of sold. I was like, okay, now I know where this comes from, where they both tag team together.
Yeah.
And there was so much more little things that you did for the fans. And if you read it without spoilers, I don't want to give spoilers because you have to read this.
Mm-hmm.
And then also for the new generation, you tied in movie references to old movies to new movies. And that's the best part I loved about it. I mean, what am I going to do? I'm going to throw in there Peaky Blinders. I mean, I can picture them watching that. And you know what I mean? So to me, I was like, I love the little things. To me, the little things really sold for me. And there was so much more that for a fan who does not know nothing about this, if you tell somebody, hey, have you heard of Boondock? You can watch the movies. Oh, no, you know what? Check out the book first, then go watch the movies. Because this tells you so much questions that I had as personally as I watched these movies. And I'm like, okay, I like this. Learning about how they were born, how the connectivity between at birth they were holding on to each other. I mean, just every little thing that you're putting in there just sold. It was just for fans who don't know nothing about this and who are just readers. I definitely recommend this book for them.
It's fun. That's interesting. I didn't think about that until you mentioned it. But the idea that somebody can't, there's plenty of people who haven't seen Boondock, don't know about it. What would that experience be like in reverse? What if they read or listened to the book beforehand and then saw the movie? I wonder what that reaction is going to be, man. And I'm glad you picked up on all those pop references. It's always been kind of a thing with us. One of the things I try to do is take everything that a fan loves about Boondock to the next level. So we do the pop references. We do the humor on the next level. We do the one-liners where they're messing with each other. And I really tried to bring that up. Okay. Sean Patrick. One thing we never got to explore much in the films was the planning stages. In Blood Origin, I run the boys through a minefield of spiritual, emotional, and logistical questions as they conspire. They clash, argue, and disagree on virtually everything, but they overcome each obstacle and eventually go in and do the deed. How did you feel about all the infighting between them and the overall planning stages as a whole?
So I look at the movies as like, we never really got that in the movies, especially in the first one with the Russians. Like they kind of just like went in. It was more like just like the Irish way, like get drunk and fight, And with this, it was more, and I'm sorry if there's any spoilers that come out, but the story of Mary McCool resonated with me because I feel like that hit more on a personal note. So whereas like the Russians, they just like, they had enough and it was like time to stand up for this social injustice in the movie. This was more of like a personal thing. They knew what Bronco Wells had done, and they knew that they had to go and like sort of like get justice for this angel, like this woman who wasn't like, she wasn't pictured to me as like sort of like a one night stand or like just some girl that you like, that you hit and quit. It was more like this is somebody that they put on a pedestal. This was their angel. And to see this happen to her, like that's where that planning went into, the planning and the patience went into play, is that they had to like watch this guy for days to figure out all of his moves just to make sure that they get him and that he stays got, like I thought that was really, really well done. And it echoes like throughout the entire book too, like with other moments, like once they get to America, it's like they have to plan this stuff out. Otherwise, they're going to get killed, and the fighting between them, that one, like Mary McCool's story is the one time where like they didn't really argue. They were both on the same page because this happened and they both felt like this was the justice that needed to be dealt out to this one guy that had this happen to her. And I thought it was just really beautiful. It was a beautiful moment of the book.
Well, thank you, man. And one of the things I did, like when they grow up, Mary McCool is basically their best friend, the three peas in a pod. Then when they get to the United States, they meet Rocco. And so he's sort of the stateside third guy, right? And
that loose cannon, yes.
Loose cannon. Different, but the same. The brothers seem to always have this third person with them. All right, thank you very much, Bailey. All right, let's do yours. Okay, one big addition in Boondock Saints Volume 1 was a dive into dark family legacy. The brothers go to Boston in part to find their mysterious father, or what happened to him. They engage in a clandestine search for their dad and unearth mysterious clues along the way as we expose some of Noah's past deeds and learn more about him. We lean in on the God side of the God v. man debate. How did this expansion of an ominous family legacy affect you?
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting to see that it didn't just start with their father, but actually went back to Noah's grandmother, kind of, had this hand almost in their legacy and, the fact that they want vengeance and justice and all of these things. And one of the things that I kind of found as I was reading was drawing parallels between the McManuses and then also Gussie and George, and thinking, they also have an incredibly dark legacy. And could Connor and Murphy have ended up like Gussie if, Noah had been there during their childhood and, they had grown up seeing violence or these other things that, George does. Yeah. And, would Noah have been the same kind of father as George? So that was kind of like where I was drawing like a lot of conclusions and like parallels between those two families.
Yeah. All right. Great. So, I mean, ultimately, I wanted to kind of show that, in terms of the God v. man debate, I mean, you can decide for yourself. All right. Like God's involved here. The question becoming, did the brothers choose to do this or were they chosen? Those who want to believe that they were chosen and that God is here. Can I give you enough? I'm hoping anyway that I give you enough ammo in your gun to defend that. But to those of us who want to believe that these are just badass vigilantes, kind of born this way, going with their own sense of right and wrong, that's the man side of things. And I tried to give the listener enough bullets in his gun too. So that's one of those saccharine, beautiful debates I never want to actually settle or take a side on. I want each fan to make their own decision. All right, Dev. One fan described Blood Origin as not a retelling, but a resurrection. This was my goal. I wanted to take you on a much more personal journey with the brothers and expand your bond with them. So I showed you many new things about them, their relationship with each other, their world, and everyone in it. how did showing you more of the boys affect your outlook on them?
It actually it answered a lot of questions, but it gave me a lot more as a process, which of course, some of it will be in volume 2, volume 3, volume 17, if you take the supernatural approach, whatever you want to do with it. But what I really dug was the sense, and tell me if I'm wrong on this, when you were writing Boondock and All Saints Day, did you have more of their prior history at least sketched out, mapped out, either mentally or on cards or in a file that no one will ever open up, but you were just looking for the right time to bring these pieces into play? Because it just seems like so fully fledged that it would, I mean, even in the process of writing across 2 or 3 years, it would be difficult to get that deep with their lore, and not just family, but their own thought processes, their ability to work together as a pair of, I don't even want to say the word vigilante, because that almost cheapens what the brothers did and continue to do.
Yeah, well, I got to admit, there was a lot that I put together in my head in terms of their lore, but it was the fans over 25 years asking me all these questions, and some of them were very logical. Where did the brothers grow up in Ireland? Were they raised by a single mom? How come they didn't know their dad when they saw him? How come they got in a gun? All the way to really odd questions like, how did they meet Rocco? I can't understand why a fan, the first bunch of times I was asked that, I couldn't understand why a fan would care about that. And then I started getting answers in my head to all these questions. And the story just started blowing up in there, largely due to thinking about answers to those fans' questions. Like, what is that? Like, yeah, sure. I knew that they grew up with a single mom in Ireland. Never really referenced it in the film. There was an outtake scene which I loved. I should never have cut. I still regret that. But to the common fan, there's no mom. There's no history there. And we had 2 hours to do a film. You can't do everything in 2 hours, right?
Right.
So yeah, all the lore of it came from not only my own thoughts of like how would this have gone, but those pointed questions from fans over 25 years. And me just sitting on planes and in my house thinking about answers to them. So, in a lot of ways, you guys helped me on this. So, all right, Martha. The boy's mother is Annabelle McManus, a.k.a. Ma Bell. Though she did not appear in either of the films, she's an integral character here, and is eventually exposed as the keeper of the dark secrets of the McManus clan. Did getting to know Ma Bell help you know the brothers better or understand their ultimate mission better? If so, how?
I thought about this question for quite a while, trying to come up with, some idea. Ma Bell, to me, first of all, as a character, I kind of myself resonate with. Maybe it's the humor. Maybe it's the fact that she's so bonded with the brothers. I wrote stuff down because I knew I was going to have a brain fog. I'm sorry.
Take it easy, Martha.
No, I know.
We all love you.
We do.
I saw her as a jokester, yet she there's something about her that there's something more, and I'm trying to put like a finger on it. Maybe I think myself, I'm going to go back to that audiobook and I'm going to go through it again. Yes, I'll sit through it another 18 hours because that's how I pick up more things. But although she wasn't you don't see her in the movies, she plays a huge part in our lives of given them the kind of hardness through that humor, if that makes sense.
So, like knowing the brothers, when you meet their mother, you think that makes sense, that type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, if you meet my kid, you'd understand. You're like, oh yeah, she's like her.
All
quite,
right,
maybe.
Okay.
But I don't have a dark secret or anything in my background.
That's just
All
what
right.
someone who has a dark secret would say, Martha.
That's exactly right.
Maybe.
Martha, had you. All right, everybody. We have a special surprise guest for you today. And let's bring him on now. Man, you all know and love.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
How are you, fella?
Hey,
Good,
Rock.
Man.
I've been listening to you guys. You guys are
Holy
smart.
shit.
Man, we got you fooled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got Jack Black over there. I'm on my phone because I broke my iPad, and everybody's small. I wish I could see you better. I want to make sure that we're Facebook friends at least.
Absolutely.
You know, after this, I feel, I liked all your talking, though. Good stuff.
Hey, guys, Rock, where can people find you on Facebook if they want to reach out and touch someone?
Here. What? Donna's going to do something.
All right.
Yeah, it's for, but yeah, I like that. I'll tell you, when I read my part, and I'm reading, and I'm thinking about the brothers. And I go, okay, when are we going to meet? When are we going to meet? And then whenever I had it with that thing with the guy with the dog, and then those guys, I go, oh, damn. And, it's like that. It's only a movie, David. Stop it. You can't call them up tonight. And but it really, really got me into. And then I knew at 73 it'd be tough playing that part in the movie.
I think we gotta see you in some more stuff. I want to introduce you to my guys down in Southern Georgia. They want to cast you in virtually everything. Rock, I remember you, I think, first listened to your chapter. I sent you your chapter as an audiobook. And this is a fun story for the fan. Rocco, he's like, yeah, I know what audiobooks are. They used to be like cassette tapes back in the day. And, he didn't really want to listen to it, and he kind of misunderstood something. I think you thought I wanted
he
you
wanted
to.
me to read the 18 hours, and then it would be the brothers saw the bad guys.
And I would have loved every minute of it, and so would all of these other.
What is this word? Capitulate. It would have been, and I go, Troy, your voice is much better. And he just was talking about my part, and it got all confusing. But he's great at this stuff, this reading. Who was it that said something about doing something in voiceovers or voice? He would be so good at that.
He would. Or OnlyFans. I'm sticking to it.
OnlyFans. I'll do people's messages on their voicemails.
Yeah.
Hi, you reached
Tracy
Sean
needs more
Patrick
college money.
Goldberg. Now go fuck yourself. It was funny with Rocco. I wanted to explain my half of the conversation with Rocco. Rocco was like getting angry with me on the phone, right? And he's like, I'm not reading the whole fucking audiobook. And I'm like, I'm not asking you to read I was like, Rocco, let's do an experiment right now. Just listen to the audio book, the chapter that I just sent you. It's called Rocco. It's your chapter where you meet the boys. He's like, fine. He hangs up and he calls me 20 minutes later, and he's just fucking floored. He's like, Troy, oh my God. You have I didn't move a muscle for 22 and a half minutes, and he just really got blown away. And one of the things you said, Rock, was, I want to get back to shooting this. I want to shoot this tomorrow.
Hey, it's funny though. I did mention if I would have known this, I wouldn't have been. Well, no, I think I was a dumb fuck, but knew what was going on in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was reading this, I'm an out and out smart motherfucker. You know,
that's one of the things that I think we were talking about that earlier. I think Martha probably brought that up first. The depth of all the characters, diving into all these characters. One of the things I wanted to do with Rocco in the first one, but again, it's got to be a thrill ride, hour and 45, and you're out. And I wouldn't change really a thing beyond probably adding the mom scene back in. So I had to kind of pick, right? But in this, I got to go deeper. Now, what happened was might be a little bit of a spoiler, but one of the things, Rocco's almost like a savant, a mafia savant soldier who has his finger on the pulse of the underground of Boston and keeps, he slams his fingers in every leak, keeps the dam from breaking, and handles all kinds of heat on the street and keeps it from boiling over. And this is one of the things that the brothers love about him, especially Connor, who sees himself in Rocco a little bit. Like, this is a smart guy that can really has the temperature of the entire town dialed in. Now, this is also going to provide some advantage for us in the future. All right. Remember what Rocco said in 1. We could kill everybody. I know fucking everybody. All right. Now we're going to show that he does. And we're going to show that all the things that he can do if he decided one day to go against these people, which of course he's going. I don't think it's a big spoiler. At some point, Rocco's gonna join with the brothers and be like a puppy dog. Like, fucking, what are we doing? Who are we killing? Right. Rock, did you want to show your Facebook there?
Yeah. Is that it? Can you guys get me?
We can't really see it. Well, why don't you read it to us?
Read it, Donna. You can read it.
It's just David Della Rocca.
It says David Della Rocca.
David Della Rocco. Do you make Della and Rocco 2 separate words?
Let me see.
Yes, it's 2 separate words.
Yeah. Wait, can't you?
Yeah, David Della Rocco, 2 L's, 2 C's on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
All right, everybody join up, man.
Yeah.
Do you get back to your fans?
Yes, all the time.
Oh, sweet.
Donna's really good at that. And yeah.
Well done, Donna.
What is she like? She's like she's like a court recorder.
Yeah, isn't that funny? It's like that song about what is it? Song about that guy. He's talking about he was gonna look for a job, but he had to get high. He was gonna clean his room, but he had to get high. I was gonna check out my Facebook friends, but I had to get high.
But Donna is the Rocco whisperer.
Oh man, that would be me while I was directing Boondock 1. It's like sometimes he'd come up. I'm all out of. What am I supposed to be doing? Like, all right, here we go.
Remember when the first thing you directed, we were all over there, and Defoe had to walk up and say something we caught the perpetrators or whatever he said. And it was the first time that Troy directed Defoe. So, pretty good actor. And anyway, how was it? Yeah, he did okay. He wanted to do it again. Fuck it, I let him.
Dude, I remember this story. I think my favorite story from Rocco from the set.
I would have liked to have seen that. No, Willem, we can't.
No, I got what I needed. Let's move forward. Moving on. My favorite story from Rocco was when we were shooting. He was really jacked up to do the death scene in the diner where we had to kill all those guys, right? And then I think that was one of the first things we shot. And I think we did some of the dialogue part of it, and I walk outside in the back of the place where all the crafty shit was set up. And Rocco's holding a tuna sandwich, like this half-eaten tuna sandwich, and he's not eating it. He's just kind of staring at the wall. I'm like, what's up, bro? He goes, Defoe just came up to me and said that I was an excellent actor.
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
And he goes, I don't think I can finish this tuna sandwich now.
Even if it didn't have it, it was smart.
I'd carry that to my grave.
It's,
Oh my God.
Dude, I remember that was the Rocco. That was the one you convinced everybody on set. They watched you lose your shit in there because that was so weird. You had a squib in your jacket. You had a loaded gun, and you had 3 guys to kill, and you had to do it pissed. I mean, we obviously shot those as separate sequences, but even kind of linking them together, like when you shot those 2 guys and had to go up to the counter, there was a whole bunch of excitement that you needed to keep inside you and then take to another level when you busted back into your own apartment. Those were the moments that convinced the people we were all working with. I had so many grips, electric guys, PAs coming up to me. Who the fuck is that guy? They thought you were already famous and they had somehow missed you.
Well, that's a good thing to look at. That was it, a lot of fun. No, a lot of fun. It was like something that I think the funnest thing about the first one, more than the second one, or more than anything else I did, was the fact that it's like ignorance is bliss. You know what I mean? And it was like Troy was told, if you don't, I was in the office, I came up a couple weeks earlier, and he was in the office, and the producers told him, you fall back one day and you're fired, and we have another guy, and blah, blah, blah. Nobody can. Yeah, sure. We were just crazy, we didn't know what the fuck we were doing at scene. And it made everything good.
You know what we got to do, Rock? I mean, I found the dailies from Boondock 1, kind of went into the archive, found the dailies from Boondock 1, and there are so many things in there that are strange that I'd love to get you on and watch them with you and see what you're like. When we were in the sin bin and you pulled your guns and did the whole. The way we did that was probably about 10 different setups all in one shot, and I forgot all about that, how quickly we moved and how somehow that somehow got onto the celluloid, the sort of naivety and desperation to get the shot. It all added this kind of blue collar version of just getting it and going and pushing forward, knowing when we had something too. I remember when I caught the two wardrobe gals in the corner crying after your death scene, and it was one of those moments. I'm like, hey, it's okay. And they're like, oh, no, we're fine. It's fine. But that really hit them, and
I was crying because I didn't get to do anymore.
I don't know. I remember there was a couple conversations you and I had back then that was like, well, I could shoot this movie for the rest of my life. We were all having such a fun time.
Yeah, it was a great time. It was a great time. We had this big old house, you guys. It was 1, 2, 3 stories, bedrooms on top, bedrooms on the bottom, and there was about 15 of us there. And it was just, everything was fun. Everything was fun.
Yeah, it was almost like a frat house.
Yeah, it was. And it was this big, huge house. You'd think that it wasn't a good idea, but it really helped. I think it really helped.
I think so, too. We had so much fun there, and we did a lot of partying. But it was like, everybody woke up early, got to work on time. And then we just had the day. It was like, I remember oh, we're shooting this today. We're shooting that today. We're shooting the toilet scene today. And everybody just so excited all the time. And it was funny when I wrote Boondock Saints. I remember it in times I remember where I was when I came up with the idea of, hey, let's show the crime scene investigations first, and then show the brothers do it. Right? I came up with that kind of time on nonlinear type storytelling, and in the book, the electronic book and the audio book, when I wrote it, just physically sat there and wrote it, I had moments like that all the time. I mean, I really tried to take this all to the next level and give the fans kind of double the bang for their buck. Most audiobooks are 6 to 9 hours max. And
Do you think that it might be a little too long?
I thought so. So far, maybe for Nick.
Hey guys, do you guys like watch us? Do you watch this movie like every St. Patrick's Day?
More than that.
Yeah.
I do.
like once a month.
You see the Boston guy, he's over there. I'm still drunk. First time I watched it, I just said, fuck it. Yeah. Is it fun? But I really wish we could do that, like get together at some St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
At some bar somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
And it wouldn't even have to be
I'd be down for
Boston.
that.
or anything.
You know, it's coming up in it's a couple months away. What is that, like 4 or 5 months away?
Yeah.
I wonder if hey Devin, you got any ideas on that? Is there like
Of course I've got ideas on that. I've been pitching that to you for a while. So here's the deal. And a lot of the folks watching or here on the call probably don't know. We did a premiere for Boondock 2, All Saints Day in Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
And we had Sean and Norman out, and that was the night that I had met Troy. And little did I know that we were going to be drunk on absinthe in Austin a couple years later, and our friendship would be cemented. But when we did the premiere, we thought we were going to do this little after party next door at an Irish pub called Trinity Hall. You could not have genetically engineered a better place for Boondock fans to congregate. We drank them out of Jameson. Do you know how hard it is to drink an Irish bar out of Jameson?
Yeah.
Oh my God. And it was fantastic. And then I had an interview with Troy and Norman the next day. They are so hungover. They're looking at me bleary-eyed going, "What did you do to us?" I said, listen, Sean had the right idea. He would take shots with people and then he'd hide them, or more importantly, give them to Troy. Troy drank all of his liquor and all of Sean's. So it was just, listen, if we did a St. Patrick's, if we did some kind of, and it could be roving, doesn't even have to be in the same city, could be in Boston the first year, because if we didn't, people would riot.
Oh, yeah.
But I absolutely know that we could sell out a big house and just completely throw it down. Absolutely.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I was talking with Retro about this because we're obviously self-releasing the electronic book and the audio book on Amazon and Audible. But he and I were talking about, like, when we do the actual physical book, what are the cool things? Because I love books. I love holding them. I love stroking them.
Yeah.
And reading, and the book collections that I have are the ones that where the spines all line up. They're all done perfectly. The same. It's collector. I almost look at a book as a collector's item now. So yeah, Kingdom Come. All right.
Just like this. Do something like this.
So the artistic thing of actually setting up a physical book, a paperback and a hardcover, knowing that it's going to be a book collection. I actually, Ray, I'd love to get together with you and kind of, if you could jump and help with that a little bit, because I want this thing to kind of look vintage, kind of, have some type of religious iconography on it.
Or just a prestige hardback like the Kingdom Come volume that you had, Ray. I mean, I think it'd be great.
It'd be really cool.
Gold and black.
Oh God, yeah. Well, perfect. And one of the things I'd love is if we were able to get together and do like a sort of a double feature screening on St. Patrick's Day. Have a book signing there too. If we're able to get that going.
My liver would not survive.
No.
All I can do is remember Boonesboro.
Oh man. Okay, guys. Let's get a final thought from everybody, and then I want to thank you guys so much. I mean, one of the things I was really worried about was what the fan perspective here was going to be, and you never know. I've always said, like, nobody's going to think you're cool unless you think you're cool, and I've always kind of moved forward with mock confidence until fans were developed and told me. And this one was one of those ones I needed. Doing a book was a very intimidating process for me. I grew up reading the greats. I always kind of looked at it like yeah, you can write a script. That's child's play. But a book, you're going to step on the porch with the big dogs now. And I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for doing this and taking 18 hours out of your life and listening to this and giving me the first fan perspective on my precious creation, Boondock Saints Volume 1, Blood Origin. So thank you.
Seriously. Author.
I feel like a real author now. Okay, let's have a final thought from each one of you. Mr. Lord Nick Hall, you Englishman, you masquerading as an Irishman.
In Ireland, you. Yeah.
Final thought.
Go on mine's a couple of questions really, like to the fans, really, to anyone who's seeing this. Do you want to find out about Il Duce and his bird? What about the leather factory discoveries?
Yeah.
And of course, we all want to know how they got the rosaries, but more importantly, discover how the prayer came about. That I absolutely love. And find out why someone is screaming at the top of their lungs, "Son of many bitches, ass of 1,000 holes, fucker of all mothers." Yeah, you've got to listen to this as a fan. If you're a fan, you have to listen to this. And yeah, authentic Boondock Saints. I got the same buzz I did as when I first saw Boondock Saints 1. As I said to you before, I discovered All Saints Day first. So I had to then find out what the buzz was from people who were, when I eventually found a copy from Amsterdam or something, all subtitles, which I couldn't switch off, and the screen was about this long. So I then eventually experienced that buzz of the original Boondock Saints. And this took me to that. This made me feel like I was watching Boondock Saints again.
I'm wondering, does anybody else have the Boondock 1 vibe experience?
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, I'm not the only one then.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Great. Yeah. Okay, Retro, give me some final thoughts, buddy.
Dude, anytime I read something, anytime, depending on what I'm reading, if it's a new character, of course, you imagine that character's voice in your head and everything. I hear the audiobook, I hear your voice. But over this one scene where Rocco's fearing he's going to get picked out of a lineup, I hear Rocco's voice in my head as I'm listening to this audiobook, and that's all I could hear. I could hear Rocco talking, and it was priceless. It is priceless. You need to listen to the audiobook, because Troy's voice is awesome, but you love Rocco. When you get to that point, to me, that's what popped in my head, and I kept on hearing it, and it was just, it was hilarious. I loved it, just hear what he was saying and everything. Oh,
man, that's like that, Rocco. That's kind of what I asked you the first time. I would have loved you to do your voice, like whenever Rocco spoke in the audiobook. I would have loved to have that be the only difference. Like me going through and doing all my stuff. But fans are just so they're so attached to you, and I think it's one of the ingredients in the recipe of that Boondock Saints stew that makes Boondock get taken much more personally by people. They like certain movies, but they love this one, and you're a big part of that. So I want you to give some thought to when we do the audio book for Volume 2. I want you to give some thought to maybe voicing your character. Okay, good. All right, Sean Patrick Dahlberg, what are our final thoughts, brother?
Final thoughts. Well, I remember when the first movie came out, I was managing a Blockbuster Video. It was like the mid to late 90s. And this movie came out. We had 30 copies of it. And I was like, the fuck is this? And I see like Sean and Norman on the cover. And I was like, that's a pretty cool cover because it was like the cross guns and stuff like that. And I see Willem Dafoe is in it. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm going to take this home because you get your free rentals and all that stuff. So I took it home. I watched it and I was like, everybody needs to see this. So I brought it over to all my best friends' houses. I was like, we need to have like a movie night. And I showed them in this movie. And it was like, we'd start quoting everything for like, choo-ra, loo-ra, loo-ra. And like, the I'll have a Coke joke and all that shit. And I felt that way with this one because it was like more in depth. And I had actually watched Boondocks 1, I think like either Wednesday or Thursday, like right in the middle of like listening and reading, because I started reading it first because I pre-ordered the book, and then once I got a copy of the audiobook, I was doing more of like a half and half, which kind of messed with my brain, but it was like it was awesome because like at first I was like reading it and I was like, this is cool. I'm like doing everything myself, and then I heard you do your voices and I was like, this is even better, you know. But I had like that same feeling where it was like all this build up and then they finally execute their like this vigilanteism, and I just felt like it was more. It was like, as I said before, it was like the movies are more like punk rock. You just get in, you get drunk, and you just fight. And like the audiobook was more like Scorsese, where you set the scene and then you fuck shit up. And I thought that was just amazing. And I look forward to volume 2, 3, and all the way up to Supernatural volume 17. You know, I think that's going to be awesome.
All right. Thank you very much, Sean. Bailey, final thoughts, my dear.
I need that second book immediately. I've been a fan of Boondock for longer than I haven't been. I watched the first movie when I was like 12 or 13, and I'm 28 now. So I've literally been a fan longer than I haven't been. And this was like the perfect addition to the world. It expanded all of these different characters, brought in all sorts of new ones, wove this really intricate web of how all of these characters are connected to each other in ways you wouldn't expect. And I'm also working on my first novel, so seeing one of my favorite creators write his first novel, super inspiring. So,
hey, you know what? It's funny. You just did that thing that fans do to me all the time. You know, it takes years and shit to do this, and they're like, "I love it. Where's the next one?" Like immediately.
Yeah. As soon as I finished it, I was like, "Where's the next one? Where can I pre-order?"
All right, Devin Pike, my friend, final thoughts.
I said this after All Saints Day, that All Saints Day felt like a love letter not just to the characters, but also to the fans that made the first film as successful as it was as an underground hit. Blood Origins 1 feels like an absolute love letter to these characters, to Rocco, to the setting, to everything that came into coalition with the 99 film. And I really, to this, I will say this to anybody who is a doubter. This book stands alone. It is a fantastic read or a fantastic listen, whatever you're, I mean, if you're like Nick and you're violently allergic to listening to audiobooks or whatever the case may be, just knuckle up and do it because you will not be disappointed. Yeah, and I'm not going to BS you, Troy. I've had conversations like this.
I know.
Where it's like, okay, this didn't really kind of work, but this worked on every single level.
Yeah, you've told me when I suck. That's for damn sure. Thank you, Dev. Martha,
yes.
let's hear your final thoughts, dear.
First of all, we need to make it happen to where we can all get together, because I missed out on Boonesboro because I didn't have a way of just dropping everything and going, but now I'm kind of in a situation where I can. So I'd really like to get together with everybody. I'd like to see Rocco again. I'd like to actually see Nick and Troy, everybody face to face. That would be really, really nice. And me and Nick go back a ways, don't we, Nick?
You are one of the people who you are such a huge part of responsibility for me now having the Facebook group with 25,000 people in it, because you were one of the first few people who started me on my journey and welcomed me into the Boondock Saints family. So
that was her. You have told me about how you told me what an ornery lot you got over there. You have to like keep politics out of it, and then now you're getting like thousands more. It was smart.
The two statements are not combative. They go hand in hand.
Devin, to try and keep a Boondock Saints fan site free of politics and religion is not easy. Because
you bring out the band hammer. That's what you do.
The minute you let it in, everyone loses it with each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but if you don't, but it keeps growing and keeps growing, because they're still doing the Boondock Saints politics and religion. There's a fine line between that and the reality, though, and it's not easy. It's not easy, I'll tell you.
Well,
And
I
so if
also,
anyone who's not a member, please come join.
yeah,
Go
sorry.
on, sorry, Martha.
No, I have to thank my husband for getting me into the movie because he originally started watching both of them and he told me about it and I was kind of like, yeah, it wasn't really my thing. And then one day I was doing stuff around the house and was like, well, I'm going to watch this, and I never did get anything done in the house because I sat there and I was glued to it. And then I go, hey, I need to get on social media and start doing stuff because I instantly was a fan.
Yeah.
And then I went to Comic-Cons, met Rocco a couple times and the boys a couple times. But if it weren't for him, and like I tried to explain to you on your because you're like, well, how did this affect you and how did you get into Boondock Saints? And I really couldn't what it means to like us, and I'm not going to say uber fans, but it got my husband and I through some hard times. Not to get all deep and stuff, but when he was in Afghanistan and hearing the bombs going off and then losing contact with him for a week, with those times, the 10-minute phone calls that we would actually get, we had that. I would either have the movie on or he would have it on his laptop.
Wow.
And it was it's deep. I'm sorry, I wasn't going to get all this deep, but I mean, it really, humor and just everything about it, and being able to meet the people I haven't met you yet, Troy, and I say yet, but to meet the people that were fans and stuff and still being friends. Nick's one of the few people that I actually still talk to as far as my fan. I mean, there's like 3 or 4 maybe, but it really did, because those were some tough times. I'm not gonna lie. He was deployed 3 times, and not this last one was really tough. But it really did get me through, and I was able to talk to friends who would listen to me and randomly just start tearing up. But it really does, just from the bottom of my heart, thank you from all of the fans, Troy. The audiobook, I could listen to it over and over and over and still find something in there that I didn't realize, And I appreciate that. And Rocco, I love your character. My little puppy dog is named after not necessarily you, but the character.
So is mine, Martha. Yeah.
You both have dogs you named Rocco.
Yeah.
Rocco.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Can we just acknowledge the fact that Rocco has a cat that he hasn't shot in the shot earlier?
Yes.
Acknowledge that.
Well, I was either gonna name him Rocco or Skippy, and Rocco won out because my husband is freaking out. But this is Rocco.
Oh, look at that little guy.
Yeah.
Oh, look at him.
One. Now go
God,
on.
I'm such a dog guy. I got 2 accidental cats, but I'm a dog guy.
Now, is that because of your daughter? You have the 2 cats?
Oh yeah. She just
That's
comes
funny
walking.
because I remember when you said something like that online or something like that, because you would never have bought a cat, but when your daughter said, yeah, I've always liked cats.
I did a rant on TikTok about it. It's funny too. Yeah, Rocco's always liked cats, and then the day I told him I had one, he was like, hey.
Yeah.
If the
thing
fans
was, and
only
this
knew.
There are some ways you can kill an animal on screen where it looks a lot worse than, like Dance with Wolves, you start crying, or Bambi. But ours was fucking hilarious. The cat didn't die. It disintegrated.
It's amazing. You can show 25 people getting gunned down in a hotel room and people getting blown apart. You take out one dog, and John Wick just goes nuts and takes out the entire table, and the brothers go insane. Yeah.
You know, when I watched that movie, I remember being in the business at the time. A bunch of Hollywood producers were like, "Is the dog enough?" And I was always like, "Yes."
Yeah.
Yep.
They're like, really? You do all this and kill all these people because of a dog? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really. You know, it would almost be, Troy, the opposite. You do all that for a human? You know? Gee, you get that dog there, and it's like they can get tears going with me. Yeah, you know, you see that dog, and then you know bad's gonna happen to it. It's like that helplessness of it. You know, half the time you see the characters, they get shot, you're happy. I shouldn't have said that.
And like the total opposite happened in Boondock 1 when you shot that cat. We were like, Jesus Christ. You know? It's like there was no vengeance for that cat at all. It was just like that cat killed, shut the fuck up.
Well,
Yeah, I remember the.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Martha.
Oh, I was just gonna say, as you're getting a little more insight on me, but as a person who had, how do I want to put this, with had abuse done, and not being able to have anybody do anything about it, and having those thoughts of, well, what if I, took care of it myself, kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The only thing that stopped me is it was illegal. That was the only thing.
Yeah.
But it.
You kind of hit on something there, Martha. I remember we asked the fan base, a couple of questions a long time ago, and one of the questions was, sort of like, what is it about the brothers that makes you like them? And it was really strange. Everybody, basically, the answer was they do what we wish we could do.
Exactly.
I almost think that everybody out there has that moment where they see some disgusting story on the news, or they hear about some terrible tragedy that happened, and they think, whoever did that, I'd kill that son of a bitch. But that's where we all draw the line, don't we? The brothers go that one step further and actually do it. So the idea that they do what we wish we could do, I know plays some kind of a big part in this. And we've talked to that recently. We did me and Nick did a competition, who has the best Boondock story, and it ended up being this terrible tale of abuse that this young girl suffered. And Boondock Saints, especially the final scene, she said, gave her the strength to finally do something about it and, basically get the bastards that were doing this to her. And she did. And these types of things, man, I get asked all the time, why do you think this movie that was never released in theaters, why do so many people like it and take it so personally and get, tattoos and look at it differently than most movies? That is one of the reasons, because they're blue collar superheroes. They're just like us. I mean, think about it. Think about your best friend, your brother, your sister. If you decided to do this, if you decided to do the craziest thing ever and take out true threats to your community, you would pair up with your best friend or your sibling, take guns and shoot them in the head and try desperately to get away with it as many times as possible. So it's a pretty simplistic setup, isn't it? But it also has this really weird tangibility about it. I mean, Retro, you got what, 3 brothers? I have 3 as well. And I know 4. All right. I got 3 brothers and a sister. I know that if I was to do something like this and do it with them, that's exactly the way we would do it. Just simple blue collar. All right, let's just keep doing it and getting away with it as much as we can and be smart about this and try not to get caught. But that first seed, Martha, you've kind of identified it. That one thing, they do what we wish we could do. And almost we don't even really like to talk about that, right? I mean, who would really, have you ever actually had a serious conversation with a friend or sibling about killing somebody? I don't know about that, but I know that we've all suffered abuse. I know some people got it way worse than others. And for some reason, our little movie here has helped them. I'm glad that, Martha, you were one of those. Yeah, that's great.
So I was going to show you something, Troy. This is just me after we had our interview. I was just messing around. It actually says the justice and the phrases on top of the tattoos. I don't know if we can do it.
What'd you make that out of?
I just took some little tattoo places, added the wording. It's not the cross I want on there, but it was just me messing around. I'll send you the photos how it actually.
Yeah, send me some photos of that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for today. This has been way better than I thought. Can we do the brothers are back on 3? Ready? Well, I want you guys all to yell out the brothers are back on 3. 1, 2, 3.
The brothers are back.
Did that cancel everybody out at the same time? So you heard absolutely nothing?
I think it's just going to be one big tornado of fucking noise. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Please stay on the line. I'm going to hit end recording. This whole thing has to get downloaded before we go so we can have some off-the-record discussions and say fuck more. Here we go.
It's all going to shit.
The gangs are fighting a war.
Falling down.
Gang raped by sex abuse allegations.
Crumbling around us.
13 shots.
Nobody knows what to do about it. And nobody knows what to do about it.
We killed someone. Me and my brother. And shepherds we shall be. For thee, my Lord, shall flow